Welcome to the south coast of Western Australia. We are here for the famous salmon run. There are tons and tons of fish moving through these gutters as we speak. Salmon have got to be one of the most accessible sports fish in our country. You get them on the east coast, west coast, south coast. They are everywhere and they are great fun to catch. I've got a bunch of lures in front of me here. We're going to go through them one by one and I'm going to show you how I go about catching these great fish. So why salmon? Well, they're a fantastic sports fish. They fight so hard. They're aerial, you can see them jumping and tail walking. You can catch them on baits, you can catch them on lures. There are tons, literal tons and tons of fish that move through these beaches every year. We have an annual migration here in Western Australia. They move from the south coast up to the west coast to do their spawning run, and that is the best time to catch them. But don't worry, you can get them on the east coast too. They are such a fun, accessible sports fish, and that is just why I love them so much. Where do we actually find them? Well, on the beach behind me here, it's a great place to start. And what you're looking for typically is gutters. All a gutter is essentially is a deep piece of water running along the beach. It doesn't have to be necessarily parallel, just a deep piece of water. Typically a wave breaks and reforms, and that's what fish use as a highway. You can also look for reefy outcrops and protection from swells and currents. They like to hide there as well. And it tends to provide a food source where bait fish get washed up against, and it's an easy food or prey item for them to feed on. Today, we're on the south coast. Typically salmon are a southern species, and we're going to hunt active schools of fish. These fish are migrating, they're active, they're hungry. We're going to use things like these polarized sunnies, very important. If you can't differentiate between salmon, reef and sand, it makes it a little bit tricky. Whatever you like, these are a must. And we're gonna throw lures and jet it in front of the schools and see what we can come up with, but they're pretty hungry and I think we're gonna do okay. All right, we've got a salmon school right there in along the shoreline, moving on the beach. No time to waste, let's go put a cast in. Gee, when it's like this, I don't even need to do a proper cast. Eat it, eat it, eat it. If only it was that easy every time. So what gear do you need? It's pretty simple really. You don't need anything crazy expensive, just something to do the job. So what I like to use is, for lure casting, is a 10-foot rod. You can go anywhere 9, 10, 11 foot, doesn't really matter. My rod here is about 20 to 30 pounds. The reel is a 4,000 to 6,000 size reel, and the line again, 20 to 30 pound. The reason we use this kind of tackle is it's nice and light, plenty of power, and it can cast lures a long way. Of course, if you want to soak a bait in a gutter, no problem at all. Beef it up, traditional beach gear is absolutely no problem. So what lures do we need? Well, we'll start here with metals. And metals is a classic. They've been around forever, and they will be because they are so effective. Here I've got an outcast in a sardine pattern, that's always great. And the ever popular desert island lure, the Halco Twisty. These things are absolute dynamite. You can cast them a long way, work them quick, fish climb all over them, imitate a bait fish really well. Next up, we got stick baits. So these are your Halco Slide Dog 105 heavies. I like the heavies because they, as the name says, they're heavy, they cast really well, imitate a bait fish really well, and have a bit more presence in the water. Now for fish on surface, which is one of the funnest ways to catch them, a really visual experience, you have poppers. So these ones are your rooster poppers, and they have very sticky hooks. Cast those out, bloop them along, and watch the salmon just climb all over them. Very fun visual way to fish. And of course, if you're out of a boat, lucky you, fantastic. You can run things like your Halco Laser Pros. These are your little 120s, you can go up bigger as well, even up to your 160s, possibly even 190s, salmon are hungry. Troll these things around, they are a fantastic way to catch fish and find fish. So you found your spot you're gonna fish, or even better, you found your salmon school. How do we target those fish? Well, there is a little bit to it. It's not super complicated, but with these lures, you want to be doing what's called a lead cast. So you look at your fish, see which way they're moving, and we want to put that lure in front of the school of salmon. We want to be the way they're looking, the way they're swimming. That's going to give us the best chance and the most eyeballs on our lure. The lure you choose will depend on where those fish are sitting and the mood of them. So if they're nice and close and they're on the surface feeding, fantastic. Throw whatever you want. Popper, stick bait, doesn't matter. Get it in there. You will not be able to move that thing fast enough. However, if they're sitting a bit further offshore, that's when you might think, right, I need an outcast or I need a slide dog heavy, and I've got to get it right out there. Then you've got to see, right, are those fish in the feeding mood or are they sitting deeper? If they're sitting deeper, sink it down, give it some twitches, slow it down. But if not, crank that thing back in and you'll see fish climbing all over it. Just gauge the mood of the fish, but once you've had 1 or 2 casts, you'll see pretty quickly what you're dealing with, and it won't be long until you have a fish on the beach. So you've hooked a salmon. What now? Pretty simple, pump and wind. Lift the rod tip up about 45 degrees, wind down, keep tension in the line, just gentle tension. When that fish wants to run, just let it run. That's part of the fun. Pump and wind, keep going, it'll be at your feet before you know it, and you have a salmon. Right, so now you have the tools in the toolkit to go and catch these fish. They are such a fun, accessible sports fish. There's a great range of lures from Halco here, from metals to stick baits to poppers to divers, you name it, there is a lure to catch these fish. And mentioning catching fish, there is a school right behind me, so that's what I'm gonna go and do right now. Go out there, catch more fish, have a great time this salmon season.